He likes licking people.
Yeah, you're very sweet.
He's very sweet.
Have to have a horse in the photo.
Yeah. So Barbara, you're here with us at the Irish Horse Welfare Trust, and you've had we've had a fantastic day with you.
Oh, it's so wonderful. I love coming up.
Yeah, we've loads to brush up on and stuff like that. And Barbara, I've been getting lots of questions from people watching the videos that we do.
Yeah.
And I thought the best person to sort of answer those questions is you. So the first one is very basic. How do you introduce positive reinforcement to a horse?
I suppose like it really does depend on the horse and the person and your expertise. I always would say, like as I'm getting licked here, I always recommend obviously getting a professional trainer who's got expertise in it. Yeah. Not because you can't do it yourself, it's always great to have a go at yourself with these things, but just because no matter how good you are, I like having my own colleagues and professionals and peer group be able to watch me work on my timing and be able to support me. And just like when I come down here and we work together on things, it's just great to have that extra pair of eyes, you know, to be able to support you and stop you getting kind of mugged. And that's in anything. Like if we were training our horses for dressage or show jumping or whatever it is that we want to do with our horses, we usually get coaches and trainers. Same with camp. So I start with there, and I always recommend that. Always to get someone good to get started. When it comes to, and I pretend I don't know the horse at all, and I don't know who they are, I would always say, so say we have an example here, you know, we're outside the stable and introduce positive reinforcement, you know, having protective contact really helps. So it gives them a safe space that they can be, and I'm outside the stable. You know, so that's just a good one for anyone, because you don't know how the horse is going to respond. So, Dad, are you going to help us? As an example. So for outside the stable, what we really want to do is just really clearly pair a treat reward or a food reward, or it can be scratches, if that's what they enjoy as well. They enjoy a scratch on the withers or up here, mane is sometimes good, with a noise or a marker. Great, Shelley's got some. So basically what we want to really clearly do, so we don't get any kind of mugging behaviour, is just pair noise with food. So we can say yes, we can go, some people go, whatever it is, whatever you fancy. So in this case, I'm just going to go, yes, here's some food. Yes, here's some food. Yes, here's some food. And I know it seems
so really, that's quite a lot of food in a very short time.
Because ultimately, we just want it to be really consistent, you know, and really clear that it's going, yes, treat, yes, treat.
So what you're teaching him there is the actual word.
Exactly.
You're not teaching them anything else other than to recognise the marker word is associated with the food.
Exactly. And then we can blend it into something else. Now, hopefully it'll be diagnosed a little bit. Even if I go over here, yes. So he did a little fist bump. A little fist bump. Yes. So we can teach him how to do a fist bump. So all we're doing is clearly marking, yes, that one there, fist bump, yes, was the right behaviour.
Okay, cool.
Now a treat is coming. Fist bump, yes. Now a treat is coming. We go again. Yes. Treat bump. Or treat bump. Where's the treat bump? The fist bump in the horse. We're being cool. Yes, down with kids. So the yes, just think of yes like yes, correct behaviour. Now a treat is coming. And that's what we're telling the horse. You know, we do one more. I've got one more treat left. Over here. This one here. No, Shelley's
got this stuff in her pocket.
No, you're going to do Barbara? You're going to play with Barbara? No, the treat is over here. I don't know what you want. Over here? Yes!
There you go.
And now a treat is coming. Last little bit. So and the reason we like to use a marker is because sometimes we can be further away from our horses when they perform the right behaviour. So by saying, yes, that one there, I do have a little bit left, it helps them understand what behaviour was performed, is the correct behaviour. And it also means that it's really nice and clear that the training is ended. And for example here, now we've got none left, training is ended. We want to make it nice and clear. Okay, coming? That we finished the training. So nice pile of hay. Would you like this? So we can pop this inside and just go, right, our training is finished. And then we can take a step away. He doesn't want any of that, he wants a nice treat. So to make it a little bit easier for him, we might pivot down that way. But we just want that end of section cue. Cool, we're all done. Hay goes in there, and then we'll just slice this here and we'll scooch over this way. We'll spin the bucket.
Yeah, okay.
And hopefully we're on the same pace.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, no, great. And it's I did notice there now, you're constantly reinforcing.
To begin with.
So would that apply to all training? So when you're going on, you're moving on a little bit, and any new behaviour that you're teaching, you're constantly reinforcing, or do they get to a stage where you don't need to do that anymore?
I know what you mean. So when people ask this question, I know, we swapped horses and we're going to do it.
This is baby Shane.
I know, he's like,
he's a baby, he's allowed.
It's my turn. But the nice thing about Zag is he's gone and he's eaten his hay. So again, it's just to reduce the frustration. Now we can start a new one. So I know exactly the kind of question you asked. So what I would, the way I was going to phrase it is, well, when we train our horses with pressure release and we ask them to trot on, when do we stop using our leg?
Yes, when they trot, when they move.
When they move. And we never stop using those aids and those cues. We still use our legs on. Our legs on. Our leg on to ask them to go forward. And ask them to go forward to a walk and a trot. So it's always good to reinforce the behaviour, whether that is you're getting your foot off you. It's the beauty about working around horses. So I say to people, it's like, so we ask our horses to walk on, we use pressure from our legs. When our horses are first learning how to walk on, we might apply pressure on the legs, they walk forward. You might get 4 or 5 steps and then we need to apply pressure again while we're learning. But when it's really well established, you might be able to put the legs on and then they keep walking. So it's a very similar situation, positive reinforcement. When you're learning something new, even though it seems very easy, as we did with Zag, to just go, can you stand there? Yes, you can, here's a treat. Yes, you can, here's a treat. And just provide that over and over again, that seems like a really easy ask, but when you're first learning, it's really hard. Just like your times tables in school, 2 + 2 = 4, you don't jump straight into the So as you progress in your training, you can do things like invariable reinforcers, where it might be every second time. You can shape and chain different behaviours together. I know it's very, very complicated here, but if we wanted to say, okay, can you stand here, and can you also turn, and can you wait? That's 3 different behaviours. Now you get a treat. So we can layer in different behaviours. But we do it slowly and carefully. We wouldn't ask our horses to piaffe straight away. Absolutely not. We would ask our horses how to walk a piaffe, how to walk a turn on the forehand. Can you just bend this way? And then we layer it all together. So I kind of look at positive reinforcement the same way as well. Every bit of our training, just adding everything together to get to our final behaviour. Hopefully that answers that question. I don't remember what the question was. I went off on a tangent.
It did. And so my next one is that a lot of people would say to me, and I know they say it to you too. So the horses and positive reinforcement, encouraging horses to bite, and also, and it does. I have seen them getting frustrated. Obviously, when there's food rewards on offer. So what's your answer to that? How do you, do you know what I'm asking?
I do know what I'm asking. So I'll address the first one again. So we have positive reinforcement and we have negative reinforcement. What I would say is if people go like, oh, you have positive reinforcement will increase biting behaviour, we know from the research that is not the case. There's lots of other things going on. Because if that was the case, then if we were doing purely negative reinforcement, we would never see biting with negative reinforcement.
Yes, of course.
And that's not the case at all. Exactly. So it's a case of correlation versus causation. There's usually other factors that are going on. So there might be, I say, incorrect timing. Again, this is why it's really helpful to have a coach as well to be able to help you. We've done that today. We support each other within, there's always learning to be done. Having a coach, having a trainer, having someone to be able to help you with your timing, just in case there was something else going on. I know you're always teasing about the pockets. You know, sometimes we can end up queuing.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I could stick your hand in your pocket and do it, and you're not aware you're doing it.
And you put your hands in your pocket, and you have Shane going, hold on, leave your hand in your pocket. That's what means it. And we can inadvertently end up going like, and I'm going to totally reinforce it. You know, we can put our hands in our pocket, inadvertently cue it, and then we're actually like, oh no, I'm just having a chat. And we're going, well, hold on a second.
You are supposed to be
giving me a treat. And they don't understand because they don't speak the same language, and this is where clear communication, regardless of what training method you're using, if you're using negative reinforcement to ask your horse to walk long, ask your horse to step back to lead them, clear, consistent, good timing. If you use positive reinforcement, clear, consistent, good timing.
Yeah, it's very important.
100%. Across the board. So, you know, regardless of what training method, it's the same for all of them. To just be that consistent. If you, because we don't speak the same language as they do. So it's when we're confusing, then that can increase frustration and increase instances of biting and stuff. Myself and Jennifer Nash, the Equine method, have put a couple of podcasts together. In one of our first episodes, we actually dive into this in really good detail when it comes to positive reinforcement. Does it need to bite in horses?
Yeah, I actually heard.
Oh, So I say my audio is terrible in that it is our pilot episode, so I do apologise.
No, I thought it was very good.
But the content, thank you. I was fishing for a compliment.
It is. You got one.
We dive into that in really good detail, more so than I could do in this. And obviously, you know, Jennifer's an amazing behaviourist, and she has some really good insights as well in how to support you as well. So I
think she might be paying us a visit too at some stage.
Yes, which would be fantastic. That would be fantastic.
Brilliant.
I'll tell you in here if people want to have a look. But yes, she's going to be coming up, and you know, we'll never get anything done. We'll just have horses on.
Yeah, I know. It'd be brilliant. Any buns?
Any buns?
Any buns?
I've got one more cake left.
I have one more for you.
Go on.
So this is actually something that I've seen on social media and stuff, right? So
dangerous.
Yeah, I know it's dangerous. My own personal experience with positive reinforcement is that you do indeed create more of an emotional bond and a stronger partnership with your horses. I even notice it here with the ones that I work with. These are not my horses, obviously, but very much, well, they are, but they're all babies, they're all our babies. But my own horse at home. Now, I recently, you know, have seen discussions that positive reinforcement is not good for an emotional bond with a horse, right?
Okay.
And I actually got quite offended because in my own personal experience, that is just not the case. And I deal with a lot of traumatized horses that have had nothing but negative association with people. And we can turn them around through the use of positive reinforcement. And yes, we do have to deal with behaviours that, you know, like mucking behaviours, but that would be our own maybe bad timing, or, you know, the things that you're doing subconsciously that you don't realise, the cues you're giving, right? But what I do notice 100% is that the emotional bond is definitely there and very, very visible. And what do you have to say about that in your experience?
If we take it on a very scientific level and just go, well, what are emotions? Emotions are a stable biological need for us, right? So for, you know, we go through all the basics. Everybody knows what it feels like, you know, hungry, thirsty, wanting to get out of the rain, having shelter. You know, I think everybody knows what it has felt like during COVID to be isolated, you know, and missing that social companionship, because we are a social species. So we can empathize with that need, but it's also a physiological and biological need for us to maintain that, because it's important to have, you know, social interactions. It's important to have that. It's important to have shelter. It's important to have food. All of those things. So we know that there are fundamental needs in order to have good mental health. But there's something beyond that that makes us feel secure. You know, I think we can all feel that like ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know, 100%. So, like, what is that? What challenges those affective states? So rather than going like, okay, well, what does love look like, or what does compassion look like and feel like for you? Flip it on its head and go, what does stress feel like? What does anxiety feel like? You know, because we know that that's an affective state that we know exists in the horse. And when I say affective state, that's just another word for emotion, which is a scientific kind of word. You know, what is your current affective state? You know, I'm probably feeling a bit nervous, and so are you, because you're videoing this. So
I'm used to it.
Yeah. So like that could be part of the affective state. Is that a little bit of stress and anxiety? Does that help me perform better? Am I going to yabber too much? What is that current affective state? Do I feel good? If you were a very challenging interviewer and you're like, I'm answering these questions right now, I probably would feel a little bit more on the uncomfortable side. That would be my affective state. Positive reinforcement isn't just food, it's also companionship. You know, it is, you know, like companionship being like, you know, just being there with someone who's like-minded. We're friends. We get to know each other.
Exactly.
We feel that like, connection. So that helps an emotional state. That is positive reinforcement. You know, you're reinforcing me talking by going, yes, absolutely.
I love that.
Great.
I love that.
You are adding to it.
You're
reinforcing. You're making me feel good and more confident in this slightly anxious situation. If instead you were going like, well, Barbara, what do you think about, you know, you changed your demeanour, that is not positive reinforcement. You're not adding something that's motivating you to perform the same behaviour. So it's not that you have to stand here and go, great sentence, Barbara, here's the Barbara, great sentence, here's the Malteser. You don't have to do that. You can add positive reinforcement in lots of different ways. So if we're saying in a very fundamental way, you know, if there are people having conversations that are like, well, positive reinforcement cannot lead to, you know, positive affective states or positive emotions or that connection, then they're missing the fundamentals of what the additive is to reinforcing behaviour. There's lots of other things that can add to something rather than just food. I say it can be companionship, you know, it can be a sense of security. You know, it's beyond those fundamental needs of thirst, forage, shelter. Something else that makes an individual feel cohesive in that community.
I got it. Yes.
I know it sounds very ambiguous.
No, I love that. Yeah. Thanks, Barbara.
That's all right.
I love that answer.
Yeah, you picked the hard one.
I know.
You did that. You know,
it just because because it's so is my experience, and and I'm not a qualified behaviourist or anything, but you are. So
well, no, here. I'll tell you what. I have a question for you. Obviously, I know you were saying like they're not on your horse, but they absolutely are. What gets you up every day to work with these guys? And you share some incredible stuff on social media. I know I'm always like, keep going, it's brilliant, I love it. You know, keep sharing, because you're putting so much out in the world. And I have had time to watch your videos and said to me that you are not only doing amazing stuff with these horses, but you're sharing stuff that's helped them with their own personal horses and kept them going. So what gets you motivated to share that every day?
Okay.
That's a
hard one.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I can answer that. It's the sense of, I know this sounds corny, right? But it's the sense of fulfillment that when you see an animal just coming from, so, you know, obviously they're all neglected. They were here because life was just nowhere near positive. It was all negative, right? So when you see them come in and they want nothing to do with people, right? And you've got to start from scratch, right? The feeling when you see them changing, and you see because of what you've done and the way that you have engaged with them, exactly, right? So then all of a sudden you come in one morning and they go, oh, there she is.
But it's herself.
It's herself, right? And it's not about what's in your pocket. Okay, it's about you're forming a connection with them, right? And that's what, and that is the most rewarding feeling, because they make you feel good, right? So something that makes you feel good is addictive, Okay,
your
so
positive reinforcement.
exactly, right? So that's my positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Is that I come in and they go, oh, she's here. Oh, lads, she's here. And you know, and they're calling and saying hello. You're setting the fields.
Yeah.
You work with them in the stables, and then they get to go out, and then they get to live out 24/7. And you cannot walk through the field without. You can call them from the gate, and it's got nothing to do with the pocket. It's got all to do with who you are, and when you see that reflected back at you, it feels incredible.
I know that. I know exactly what you mean.
That feels incredible.
And not, and like I say, I know that is like your positive reinforcement, but that's beautiful, Shay. And you do an amazing job here. I love coming up here.
And we have a great team, Barbara, and you know, you've worked with us today, and it's just, you know, listen, it's just great to have somebody, you know.
It's peer support.
Yeah, that's exactly it, and it's just lovely to have somebody on the ground saying, you know, that's great, or maybe if you tweak that a little bit, or you know yourself, we were saying earlier that we all need the support, you know.
Because I don't think people realise that, like, you know, behaviourist coaches, trainers, you know, those of us who are like out working with horses, a lot of it is like self-employment, or you're out on your own, so you're not in an office to have that learning environment. So like I love coming up here because I always learn from you guys, you know, and I'm able to take it away and learn and develop as well.
Fantastic,
because it's about sharing and growing. And I know, like I said, of other colleagues and friends as well, and we will, you know, share knowledge and say, like, hopefully Jen will be up here in February as well, like. We are working together. Ultimately, we're doing it to help our expertise, but also give it back to the horses and be able to hopefully have a. They're all looking for dinner now.
It's dinner time.
That's our time. That's our time to go. No, thank you so much for this. Hopefully, people have enjoyed. You know, the questions and answers.
You answered the questions.
I'm sorry, so
she answered the questions.
Just about. A little bit of what.
Thank you.
That was an absolute pleasure.